Hello lovely people, my name is Emma and today I'm going to be doing a quick currently reading and then sort of a touch base life update. So it's been a little bit of a break on my channel because I have been moving house and it's been slightly more chaotic than I would like. So I'm going to be just talking about the 4 books that I'm currently reading at the moment, and then I will do a life update at the end, and if you're not interested in the life update then you can just sort of leave before that point. So consider this kind of a Friday reads that hopefully will be out on Thursday, it might be out on Friday, it really depends on many things that the life update will cover. So let's talk about the books that I'm currently reading at the moment. So I'm very nearly finished with We Were 8 Years in Power by Ta-Nehisi Coates. This is a non-fiction and it's a collection of essays written by Ta-Nehisi Coates in the various years throughout the Obama administration. As well as the actual essays themselves, which a lot of them were published I believe in The Atlantic, it is also his opportunity to look back on these essays and kind of talk about what they meant, where he was in his life at the time of writing them, and sort of reflections on if there's anything in them that he would change. The point to it is it's looking at Obama's administration through the lens of race, as him as the first black president, and just general conversations about what that meant for the black community, for America and racism in general, and then obviously the rise of Trump immediately afterwards and what that says about the American population and racism. Ta-Nehisi Coates has an amazing writing style. This is my first book from him, but he has a fiction book called The Water Dancer, I believe, that's like a historical speculative fiction that I'm really interested in reading, especially now having basically finished this book. I'm literally on the epilogue. I'll have it done by the end of today. I think it's really powerful. His writing style is stunning and I'm really interested to see what he could do with fiction. And I'm not normally one for essay collections, but I think that the ability to collect these in one place and then have the kind of chapter directly before each essay talking about what was happening at the time of the essay to give it that kind of context and slight memoir feel is really powerful, and adds kind of pulls them together in a way that I feel most essay collections for me feel very disjointed, and this feels far more well-rounded and connected because of that feature. I also have on the go Half-Blood Blues by Edugyan. This I actually started last night. It's a historical fiction set, a combination of in current day and also in France in the 1940s, and so like sort of very late 30s, in the time of the Second World War and Germany's occupation of France. And it's following the story of, it's a bunch of jazz musicians and one of them basically got carted away off to a concentration camp, and it is about them trying to find out what happened to him afterwards, and sort of a lot of the rhetoric so far has been about who gets to tell your story and what that means when somebody else tells it, and the different ways that the same story can be true even if it has sort of contradictory elements to it. Like I said, I'm about 50 pages in and I'm really liking it so far. The writing style, the voice of the author is very strong through the character. I think it's there's sort of blend of sort of Baltimore sort of stylized writing sort of accent in there, and it's kind of slang that I'm really enjoying, and the conversations about jazz is also really interesting. I don't know a crazy amount about jazz, but the little that I do know, I'm really enjoying kind of the touches of that in this, so I'm really excited to see what this does. I also started the other day on my Kindle The Last Wish, which is the first book, or like almost like a 0.5 book in the Witcher series by author's name I can't remember. I will put it here. I am not that bothered by it so far. I think it's kind of a little slow. It feels a little flat in places. I definitely think that the TV show so far has been stronger, and I think that by watching the TV show before it, the book might have suffered in comparison. I'm only like a third of the way through it, so you know it's a little early to make too many judgments, but I'm just finding it that it drags a little bit and it's a little bit dull in places, so I'll be interested to see how that goes in the long run. And then the final one I have on the go at the moment is The Covent Garden Girls by Hallie Rubenhold. This is a non-fiction looking at prostitution in Georgian era and something called the Harris List, which was almost like a catalogue of prostitutes that was published as sort of a running publishing thing that people had in the time. So far it's generally good. Hallie Rubenhold wrote The Five, which is an amazingly good non-fiction about the 5 women that Jack the Ripper killed, and that one has got a lot of critical acclaim. It's kind of a booktube darling, the non-fiction community. You've probably heard me talk about it on this channel before quite a lot. But her first book, I think, is clearly like the debut book of an author who you know is going to go on to do better things. So it's enjoyable and you can see where something like The Five is going to come from but it's not quite there yet. So those are the 4 books that I have on the go at the moment. It is the last day of September at time of filming, I believe. So tomorrow starts October and my quite impressive October TBR. I've already jumped in with the Half-Blood Blues already, and some of these will be drifting over into October, so I'll try and get them finished quite early on in the week. But yeah, so let's kind of just talk general life updates. So we're in, we're here. This is the new non-fiction shelves behind me. Andy and I have like combined our books. So I'm going to be playing around with a few different filming setups over probably the next few weeks/months. I don't mind this one, the kind of natural light isn't too bad, but I think that might go quite swiftly in the winter. So there's some books downstairs, some bookshelves downstairs, there's some books kind of over that direction, so lots of different options for filming. But yes, we have combined our non-fiction, which is really interesting. We've combined all of our books, which is very interesting. That's a major commitment as a couple. So yeah, the move was okay. The internet took a really long time to get set up. It turns out our broadband wire had been cut on the outside of the house, and then literally it got set up yesterday, and I turned on my laptop to try and play some WoW Classic with Andy, and my laptop like immediately crashed and got itself caught into a horrible reboot loop. And I've been thinking about getting a new laptop anyway, because this one was definitely on its last legs and this is kind of the final push. So I am intending literally after filming this to kind of head into town and get myself a new one. So fingers crossed I can get that sorted and edited all of this quick enough that you will actually see it soon. My next video is probably going to be a like a full kind of monthly wrap up, so it'll be a longer one, but this one was just sort of a quick touch base. The move's okay, everyone's doing alright. Toaster had to go to the vets yesterday, but she's doing okay, but it's just kind of been a bit of a one thing after the other kind of a situation with the move. So we're all good, I'm here, we're okay, we're back on camera, and there will be more regular content coming out soon, I promise. So that's really it from me. Have a wonderful reading week, and no, I really missed you guys and I really miss filming, so it's really nice to be back. I didn't realise how much I was going to miss it. This is the first break I've ever taken on my channel, so it's lovely to be back and to be chatting about books, and I'm looking forward to posting this and getting it edited and hoping that I have a laptop that can do that soon. So anyway, I'm rambling now, I need to actually go, so have a wonderful reading week like I said already, and I'll chat to you soon. Bye.